Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Financial Tides from Wealth Navigation Advisors. I'm John Perillo, along with my son Taylor Perillo, also a CFP. And today we're going to talk about holiday spending. Now, as a precursor, not only is this episode short, this episode is for that person who is dealing with a restrained budget, probably some of our younger clients or children or grandchildren of clients. This is not for the person who's got unlimited means and budgeting is not an issue and they can afford to do massive gifts along with, massive spending. So, I'll dive right in and tell you, Americans are predicted to spend over $201 billion on gifts this season. With holiday spending, you should always have a budget and a plan. And I just saw on the news this morning a retailer I won't mention. It's an online retailer, but they hit record sales already to this point in the holiday season. And only 27% of holiday shoppers actually have a strict budget for the amount they'll spend. So setting aside savings throughout the year is often a good way to do it. My grandfather used the envelope system where he put a little bit of money in an envelope every week in his stock drawer. And so when December 1st came along, he had the money. Now, holiday gift giving is a fun and meaningful annual tradition, but it's not worth putting your financial health at risk. So consider decreasing your shopping budget if you have to take on expensive debt or push bills out or dip into your savings for holiday gifts.
Yeah, and I think this season comes with a lot of different feelings and emotions for people. It's a season of generosity for a lot of people. There's whether it's the people outside stores ringing the bells, holding the buckets out, trying to get donations, your religious center looking for extra donations. There's a lot of different things that are pulling different ways, which makes it really necessary that you have some sort of priority and some sort of plan in place. If you don't have the financial resources, kind of having a hierarchy of figuring out what's most important to you and how you're going to allocate your resources. And I think one of those big things is setting the boundaries with the loved ones that you have. So you shouldn't go to the point of stretching your finances just because of a sense of obligation to any family members. Everyone's in a different financial situation. So some of the things that I think we commonly see is this person spent X amount of dollars on me, so I feel like I have to spend that X amount of dollars back. Or type of situation where it's, hey, they got me a gift, I have to get them a gift. Or I know something that my wife struggles with is the fact that she loves baby clothes and baby items and gets really excited about it. And everybody that has a baby, she wants to get something for, no matter how close we really are with them. So there's different sense of obligations, both with your loved ones and people around you, and it just kind of comes with the season. So setting kind of a priority within your means of what you can do will allow you to both be generous with what's important to you, but not stretch you too thin. So again, we said about savings, scaling back through the year. It's really comes to the full year. I know this is the crunch time when you think about it, but you don't want to spend the entire start of 2025 paying down the debt that you took on from the holiday season. So saving up over the course of the year. And if those priorities are, hey, I really want to be generous with everybody around the Christmas season or the holiday season, it's going to be really important for you to be very frugal and very mindful about what you spend on throughout the year to get you to that point. So around 33% of Americans say they'd rather have an experience with a loved one instead of a gift. So doing things like going out, walking a park or something might be something that you could do instead if your financial situation's tight, or walking the beach or doing a hike of some sort. And then 23% say over the course of the year that they would prefer to receive fewer gifts. So I think a lot of, especially our generation now, is starting to come to the point where they want to go out and do stuff. They want to travel. They want to see things. They want to be with people and socialize with people more so than having a item actually sitting in their house that they're rarely going to use. And I think one of the things that we go through with our siblings every year is when we're starting to think of gifts, we're very much the type of people that if we really need something, we're probably going to need it and go get it for ourselves pretty immediately. So when we end up buying gifts for each other, we end up just getting something extra that we don't really need or use. So we've kind of, amongst the siblings in our family at least, have agreed that, hey, you know what? We don't need to do gift giving for each other. We're all just going to buy each other something that we didn't really want. We're better off just saving that money and using it on ourselves when we do want something. So, the next part is 28% of 2023 shoppers who put flights or hotels stays on a credit card still haven't paid off these balances. So that kind of brings up the next topic of, hey, spending around the holiday isn't just all about gifts. It's about travel. And a lot
Yeah,
of
that
people
that
have to
that
travel.
amazed me that almost a third of last year's travel is still on their credit card. And so now they've got this year's travel to add to it. So, we do hear the debt spiral is increasing. Nearly three-quarters of this year's holiday travelers plan to put some or all of their holiday flight and hotel expenses on the credit card. That's three-quarters. So 75% of the travelers will add to that credit card total. And 15% of holiday travelers say they applied for a new credit card to get a sign-up bonus to help pay for 2024 holiday travel expenses. So
And
it,
just to interject real quick there, you and I, John, will probably put any travel that we do around the holidays on a credit card. I know that your upcoming trip, you probably put on a credit card, but I think there's two key differences. You've paid off your credit card every month over the course of the year, so you're not carrying last year's, and then you plan to pay off all of your holiday travel immediately, so you're not paying that extra interest that the 28% of people who still have 2023 travel expenses on their card are paying on a monthly basis.
Yeah, and to be honest, you look at the benefits I get out of using the credit card. Taylor, your mom travels on Southwest free with me as a companion. We pay the $5.60 TSA fee. It's really not free. It's the people that are carrying the high interest rates out there that don't pay off their card that are subsidizing my wife's free travel. Same thing with all the miles and points we get. We take free flights all the time on our credit card because we pay it off every month. We build up the miles, and then again, we're being subsidized by somebody else. And so we don't want you to be there. We don't want you to be that subsidizer. We want you to be the person who budgets, prioritize your travel plans, budget. It's never too early to start building up a holiday fund, and this can help you look forward to the season all year long as well.
Yeah, and I think we talked slightly about the interest and carrying interest, and I don't think people really realize the impact that it can have over the course of a year. So obviously everyone pays different interest rates on their credit cards, but on average, if you're carrying $1,000, just 1,000 of credit card debt, you're losing about $228 a year in interest. Start adding multiple thousands, $5,000 if you do big travel and gifts and have a big holiday season. You're talking about losing over $1,000 a year extra on top of what you paid for all those things just to interest. So it's pointless. You don't want to do it. You want to avoid it at all costs. We know that you want to prioritize your family, your friends, and you just have to do it in a way that makes sense for you, as tough as it may be. No one wants to be the person that says, hey, it's really not in my financial picture to be able to pull this off. But it's much worse to be paying extra and compromising your financial situation worse if that is your situation. So definitely live within your means, definitely be reasonable with yourself and truthful with yourself for what you can and can't afford. And then make it a priority if you did end up in debt to get that last year's debt paid off and really get yourself out of that situation so it's not an ongoing, reoccurring problem. So we're here to help with any of that, any step of the way. If you need to kind of figure out where you are financially and what you can do this holiday season or future holiday seasons, please feel free to reach out. We're happy to help in any way, shape, or form that we can, and give you guys advice and budgeting to set you guys up for success, especially around the holiday season. Thanks so much, everyone, for tuning in to Financial Tides. Talk to you next time.
Thank you.
John Perillo and Taylor Perillo are financial advisors offering securities through Cetera Advisors LLC, a registered broker-dealer, doing insurance business in California as CFGA Insurance Agency LLC, member FINRA/SIPC. Advisory services offered through Cetera Investment Advisors LLC, a registered investment advisor. Cetera firms are under separate ownerships from any other named entity. California insurance licenses number 0F60123 and 0M90666, 6265 Greenwich Drive, Suite 251, San Diego, California 92122. The views depicted in this material are for information purposes only and are not necessarily those of Cetera Advisors LLC. They should not be considered specific advice or recommendations for any individual. Neither Cetera Advisors LLC nor any of its representatives may give legal or tax advice.